The woman, stranded on a deserted island, had managed to catch a few small fish with great difficulty. However, she couldn't bring herself to eat them. Instead, she crushed the fish and poured them directly into the sea. It turned out she was using the fish as bait. The woman stood in the water, holding a wooden stick, waiting. Soon, a shark appeared. She stared at her target nervously. Suddenly, she thrust the stick forcefully and, to her surprise, actually caught the shark. Even she couldn't believe it. However, instead of eating her hard-earned catch, she hung it on a tree and hid in a sandpit to observe. A few days earlier, when she had first been stranded on the island, she had fired a flare in the direction of the red light. She thought she had seen a terrifying monster. For her own safety, she decided to use the shark as bait to test her suspicions. Unexpectedly, she actually saw the monster come to snatch the food. Just then, a rescue helicopter flew over. The woman wanted to call for help, but with the monster nearby, she was too afraid to make a sound. Thus, she missed her chance to be rescued. To avoid the monster's attack, she found a hollow tree and crawled inside, thinking it would provide shelter. However, in the middle of the night, strange noises came from around her and the tree began to move. Terrified, she didn't dare make a sound, as any noise might provoke the monster. She spent the night in despair. The next day, determined to find a safe shelter, she found a tarp and used a rope to secure it 10 meters up in a tree, thinking the monster might not find her at that height. She also fashioned a defensive weapon from a tree branch. To her dismay, that night, the monster approached her location. The girl was instantly frightened, afraid that any movement would alert the creature. After a moment of silence, she looked down and saw the monster waiting for her below. In a panic, she jumped down and ran desperately to the beach. The monster pursued her into the water. She ran until she was exhausted, finally escaping the ordeal. The next day, she suddenly noticed a lifeboat floating in the distance. It turned out her two good friends had survived. She offered them all her supplies and told them about the man-eating monster on the island, urging them to leave together. However, they strongly opposed the idea, having had enough of drifting at sea. The woman, on the other hand, couldn't bear to stay on the island a minute longer. She secretly packed her supplies, and when they weren't looking, tried to sneak away with the lifeboat. Unfortunately, her friends noticed and quickly caught up to her, desperately stopping her. They tied her hands to a tree. That night, knowing how terrifying the island's monster was, she begged her friends to release her, but no one believed her story. Her friends even went for a walk on the beach. By the time they discovered the fish heads bitten off in the sea, it was already too late.